All right.
I think we're live.
I think we're live. So before we start, it turns out that we were in fact talking about two different distinct npm hacks last week, which I'm sure you figured
Oh,
out
really?
after the show.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
didn't.
That there definitely were two supply chain attacks on npm last week,
Wow.
which yeah, amazing. The one that you talked about, I had watched on Fireship just after the show, but
Right.
yeah, I'd watched another one from the Prime. So
Okay.
it looks like supply chain attacks are in vogue. I don't know if this is the new normal, but yes, here we are.
Yeah.
Have you been
Hmm.
up to much? Have you been doing anything in the realm of Gen AI?
Sort of. Well, actually, yes.
Oh,
I
oh,
started
okay,
playing
okay,
around with a tool that I
right.
um that I didn't know I knew about, but I didn't have
Hmm.
access to. And so I finally
Oh,
got access to it.
can I guess? Is it Kiro? Cairo?
It is.
Ah,
I don't
you are
know
not
if
alone.
like
I do not
everybody
have
got it.
access.
Huh?
No, I definitely don't. I
Okay,
don't
I
have
wasn't sure
access,
if
and I
like the
did sign
world
up.
got access or.
No, only the cool kids.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, what do you think? I just had a look at it this morning.
Oh, you wait.
I
You
do. Someone else showed me. I do not have
okay?
access. Again,
Okay.
not a cool kid.
Yeah, I got it. So hold on. What's going on with my head? This.
It feels like the ugliest VS Code fork. Like they've got anything that and all the new things, like all the new icons and stuff like that, are just weird. They just I don't know. It feels
Yes.
odd.
Yes. What's going on with this thing? What did I do
Oh,
here?
Matt can't hear us.
I can hear you. I just can't. I've gotten this thing all twisted around. Hold on. It was kind of in a weird spot. Hold on.
Matt's
Let's.
having a wardrobe malfunction here.
Yes. Yes. Trying to get
Headphones stuck in the
the
shirt.
cord out of the way. There we go. Okay.
Much
Now it's
better.
tight.
It's a rough life as a podcaster, huh?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Oh, perfect. Better. So
Now, yeah,
yes, I
go ahead.
started using Kiro
Kilo.
and Kilo.
I actually said Kilo, and I got to correct myself because there are two distinct editors, one paid, one free. Kiro is Amazon's, and Kilo is a completely different company. But
Oh,
it shot to the top of the open router charts recently. Kilo,
oh,
not
okay,
Kiro, which
okay,
I thought was interesting. And then I got very confused because I thought they were the same tool. But there are in fact two IDEs that
okay.
start with K
Oh, wow.
that end with O. Yeah.
So what's neat about Kiro
Hmm.
is, with all the tools, it's always best if you go into it um, with
Like
a
a
like a
PRD.
PRD or some
Yep.
sort of description of the product. And but they all rely. I mean, there's tools you can add on. I forget what one of the main ones is that would help
Memory is
you.
kind of a common one.
Well, there was one that was actually for creating that PRD, and it would go back and
Oh,
forth
gotcha.
directly through Claude, and then
Gotcha.
generate that document, and then you could do the rest in Cursor or Windsurf or whatever. Um,
Hmm.
but um, but that's what's different with Kiro. It
Right.
um, it is it starts with, okay, you have an idea, you start typing in what it is you want to do, and then it
Hmm.
starts building out the requirements document. And so it starts with
Right.
building that out. um, and ask some questions, and it builds it further and makes sure that it covers all the bits. Is that everything you want it to do? Great. Yep. Okay.
Hmm.
And then it uses that to build out a design document.
Right.
And then it says, does this look all good? I says, yeah, that looks great. And then it builds out a task list. And so it comes up with
Yes.
like, it came up with, I don't know, 50. I wanted it to do what did I make this weekend? Oh, I made uh, an N8N plugin
Hmm.
for, or no, yeah, I think it's called plugin for Karakeep, which is a bookmarking tool. And so I wanted to, and the Karakeep API has probably um, 40 or 50 different actions you can take. Not probably about five main endpoints but with all the different REST verbs, you get a bunch of things. And so I thought, oh god, it's gonna be. I might be able to get like four of those things done. But
Right.
with Kiro, I mean, I got it all done. So
Right.
a complete plugin, and it works really really well. But I was able to do that through, and this was through the preview, so I wasn't paying anything.
Right.
Um, and then I got to the point where like it was done, and then it said,
Mhm.
like I was just gonna like clean up one thing. It says, "Oh well, you've run out of credits. Wait till next month." And at which point I paid $20 for the monthly because I
That's how
thought
they get you. Yeah. Yeah.
I was so impressed with how well it worked.
Right.
At how well it there was, I went through, out of its 15 tasks, like the last three seemed like those are probably good things to do, but I don't really need to do it now.
Not necessary. Yeah.
Um, but I went through, about 12 of those tasks, and each of those tasks was, like 5 or 6 bullet points of like some meaty stuff to do. Each one of those 12. Um, and it did each of the 12. It built out tests to make sure that for everything it did, there was a test already built as well. And so
Hmm.
that every change, it would run all the tests and verify that everything was still working. And it was like, it did all the right things. Um, and I never got to a point where I had to like roll back to fix the thing I mean, and so it was going for a good long time, and it did everything great. I was really really impressed.
So some of this feels like toil to me, and I'll get to that in a sec because you gotta kind of, I don't know, manage it, monitor it, watch it. But there's one part in there that I think surprised me is that you said it came back and gave you the right answer. Because listen, my experience with Kiro is
Hmm.
good. It's using Sonnet 4. I was just watching someone
Right.
else use it, but it doesn't look like it's very useful until you use the agent hooks. Is that what you were using to like continue work? Because it seems to do one task at a time, and it won't go from task one to task two, unless I misunderstood. This is just a quick
No,
demo.
it will go. I mean,
Ah, okay,
it will. No, no, no. It will do one task, and then when you're
right,
done with that task, when you've verified that everything all works, then you can move on to the second task, and you click the little button
right,
in the task list
yeah,
to go on
yeah,
to the next task. And that I
like that
think was
little
great.
Python notebook. Right, right,
Yeah, because I mean, it wasn't. I mean, each one of these tasks was not trivial. There was
right.
a significant amount of stuff to build out, and so there was a lot of the with each of the like for Carakeep, it's dealing with bookmarks, and so for the bookmarks endpoint is like get all the bookmarks, get bookmark by
Of course.
ID, get
Yep.
add a bookmark, update the bookmark with summary and tags, um, add a bookmark to a list. So there's like a whole bunch of things, and I didn't really provide
Hmm.
it much detail about what. And the docs are pretty good, but kind of hard to navigate through.
Fair enough.
Um,
Yeah.
and so it built out the first try, and I tried it, and it didn't. The get all and get by ID worked, but all the other ones were passing the wrong information because it couldn't
Fair enough.
figure it out. And so I just kind of worked with it to like, oh well, here's the markdown version um of the docs on that particular endpoint. And then as soon as I gave it that, it like I mean, an endpoint that had like 10 uh, or a few request variables and or request string or query string variables as well as a body,
Mm.
and so I mean a lot of places for errors to pop up, and it just got it perfect. Like, oh well, that was easy, and so I just kind of repeated the process for each of them, and it was amazing.
That's awesome. And again, this is my naive understanding. So it's one model for now, Sonnet 4, correct? There's no other models that you can pick from?
Was it Sonnet? Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah. So it feels like a lot of what it's doing is kind of making sure the context is fitting. Like when I
Hmm.
looked at the tasks, they are definitely big tasks, but within the task list, it felt like there were like bite size, like I
Yeah.
can handle these kind of tasks,
Yeah.
and it just sort of went through them one by one. Even when you click on that one big task, we'll go through like a to-do
Right.
list, which I thought was cool. the main thing that thought was interesting for the whole thing, because it's kind of like just a workflow, and I
Right.
don't want to
Sure.
like justice carrying a lot of weight here, but it's actually going through and making you create proper user stories. And I
Yeah.
say making you, but like it's creating them for you,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty interesting. But I hate writing user stories, so
Yeah.
that's but right away, like that's actually pretty handy
Yeah.
for me because I can't stand
I mean,
that language, and I understand
and
why it's that way.
and you
But
can always use, another model
yeah,
separately to build out this document. I tended to do it myself because I wanted to, usually as I was writing it, if I let somebody else do it, then I'm going to read through it and I'm going to skip past some important things that I don't notice. But if I'm writing it myself, I'm writing the, paragraph, and then I realize, wait a second. If I do that, what I said at the beginning, it's not going to do what I'm saying here. So I go back and like rework all the things
right.
so that it will make sense. And I actually, I when I looked at the generated requirements, then design, then tasks,
Hmm.
I read through the first bit and then I thought, this seems to be doing it. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll let
And
it
I
go.
just
Yeah,
kind of trusted
exactly.
it. And it and it did exactly what I wanted. I was
Yeah, would
shocked.
agree. It seems to pass the sniff test, and one of the big eye openers for me is that I never have the equivalent of a design.md, and
Hmm.
as someone who actually is trying to learn front end, like that actually might be pretty handy. Like
Yeah.
use these specific libraries, make sure you follow this design language. So
Hmm.
there's a few other things in there. Ensure that like people with screen readers can use the site. Like it
Hmm.
depends on the app that you're using, but or writing, sorry. But it did seem to be pretty clear. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are already using a task list, either a to do or what have you. I
Yep.
think Cursor has one built in because it seems to be checking things off these days. But being able to like show that to you that this is an
Yeah.
important part
Yeah.
of the process and this is how it works
Yeah.
is interesting. It does feel like a lot of this is toil though. So like I
Yeah.
don't know, is it like a 2025 problem? Like next year, are we going to be managing a manager of agents that are IDEs, or what is that going to look like? Because it feels
Mm.
like right now we're in there just hitting continue or next. They're like, nah, you messed up, fix
Yeah.
this. Whereas honestly, it feels like there could be an Llama or Llama
Sure.
supervisor in the mix is sort of helping out, and then it's like, oh yeah, that was the right decision. So you're
Hmm.
actually what
Hmm.
you're doing is you've got a middle manager now
Right.
instead of someone who's a co-op or an intern.
Right.
But we seem to be getting to that level. And you mentioned
Yeah.
N8N, and I think that's interesting because I've been playing a lot with Codex CLI. They
Hmm.
rewrote it in Rust and Ratatouille, and
Hmm.
it's actually okay now with GPT-5 Codex is what I've been
Hmm.
using it with. And what I feel like is it's missing a lot of things that I've seen in Kiro personally. I'd like
Mm.
to see a built-in to-do list. I'd
Right.
like to see a way to use design. What it does use though is agents.md. Have you heard of this?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it's like a standard now or suggested standard.
Trying to say this is the one file to use for all the different, except
Right.
not all of
And that's
them
great.
agree to it, right?
Right. And listen, that's awesome, but I'm really interested in like the standardized to do. And now that
Hmm.
I've seen the design like that as well.
Yeah.
And in agent, there isn't necessarily that same stipulation about user stories or test criterion. Like it's up to you. It's not that you can't put it
Right.
in there. It's just like in terms of the standard, it doesn't have there. Where Kiro or Cairo seems to be very opinionated in terms of the way you should do work. And I feel like this is an Amazon thing. I've never worked at Amazon, so I can't tell. But I've heard that you're supposed to go through some rigorous process before starting a project.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of this? Similar, not the same? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that being the case. I mean,
That being a thing, yeah.
I,
Again, I feel like I'm speaking out of turn. I've not worked
I
there, so I can't say. But my understanding is it's informed on the way that they work internally.
yeah, I I feel like a lot of the time it's like I don't know what format should I put it in. Oh, you've got a
Right.
format you want to use? Great, let's go with it.
Yeah, have at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because there's Claude.md, which is like one format. Agents.md kind of looks like that, to be honest. But then there was like
Except it's all just going
Codex.md
into
before.
it's all just going into the prompt, so it doesn't really matter what the format is.
Right.
Right.
Except apparently JSON's the worst format to use because there's just
Hmm.
like a lot of extra tokens and white space and stuff that you shouldn't necessarily need to care about.
Right. And yet, for a long time, people were suggesting that actually putting your prompt in XML was best. Like, oh, come on, really?
I'm not sure that's true. I have had good success with XML parsing and Gen AI models for sure. My brain tells me that opening and closing tags are just wasting space for a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff. like straight up. It's just having used XML before. There's a lot of parsing that you
Yeah.
shouldn't need to do unless you're using a parser. If you've got some built-in library or what have you, have at it. Most of the time, what I see is that the language model is actually taking in the stuff live and then getting rid of all the cruft, which just takes more time, more overhead. We had a question about Lindy AI suggesting that it's possibly N8N for mortals, or maybe
I don't
mere
know how
mortals.
N8N could be how something could be simpler
Harder,
than
easier,
N8N.
yeah. I've never
N8N is
used it.
pretty easy, but what's Lindy AI?
Interesting.
Oh, it's according to their site, it's all about AI agents rather than what N8N is. But
N8N is definitely more than
yeah,
just an AI agent maker, for sure. Interesting.
I mean, I've
Interesting.
definitely seen a bunch of variations on this. Other companies like reaching out to do sponsors.
Of course, of course.
And
What was the first
but
one? Not Cody, but it had a name. Devin.
hmm.
Devin was
Oh
the first
yeah,
one like this that I've seen.
which
Yeah,
is the
remember
one
Devin?
that took over Windsurf,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I think I've got it.
I didn't know anything about Lindy
Interesting. And when I
other
look
than the
for
Lindy Hop.
Devin AI, right, fair enough.
Right.
The Lindy
Not
Hop,
that I can do
yes.
that either.
It looks German because the company has GmbH after the name, so maybe you're onto
Yeah.
something. Or Linda Bureau. Yeah, so no, I don't think you're too far off. I think a lot of people are using N8N to create
Sure.
agents. It's just that N8N
It is one of many
it's
things.
kind of a
Yeah.
super scope of
Yeah.
that. So definitely. Yeah, Devin, I think I'm trying to think of the company who owns Devin. Oh shoot. For some reason I can't seem to figure it out. Cognition. My apologies.
Cognition, yeah.
Yes, Cognition, yeah. Who ran Devin and then took over most of Windsurf, yeah.
Right.
Or have Windsurf now.
Windsurf, Cognition, yeah.
Have you played with Codex CLI? Now that
No.
we're talking about IDEs. It used to be terrible. It was like
yeah?
what not to do. If you want.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like all the bounding boxes wouldn't render properly. Like OpenCode does this once in a while when there's a Vercel SDK or something like that, but it would happen all the time in Codex. It was just total pain in the use. I tried it just a little bit.
Yeah.
It was just it's so hard when Cloud Code is so good to compare it to
Yeah.
something that just works. Why would you reach for another tool? Like
Right.
I've got my hammer. Why do I need this duct
Yeah.
tape thing that you've made? Like
Yeah.
I just can't use my hammer, thanks. But it's so much better now. And actually, I would say it's better than Cloud Code in terms of not getting extremely slow. I tend to run large context windows, long sessions for no reason other than I'd like it to finish before I throw
Yeah.
the entire soup away and start afresh. And sometimes the tasks that I'm running can take some time. But it bogs down so bad in Cloud Code, and to a lesser extent in Open Code, and very much so in like Windsurf. I crash all the time,
Right.
just like again, just because I'm using that window way too much, and it's just full of text. It's terrible. And then I'll have like 10,000 Git commits that are, like need to be committed locally, or files that are on track that need to be tracked. A whole bunch of just messy stuff.
Yeah.
And I like the IDs because they just don't have that cruft there. I mean, all that cruft is important. It's an indicator that things are going wrong for sure. Like I'm not disagreeing. But sometimes when I want to do something quick and dirty, I'll reach for the CLI IDs just because they're faster. It's not a lot there, especially if I'm doing for a longer context. Cursor itself, like I think the problem with Cursor is I get disconnected from the terminal a lot of times, saying like the cursor's PTY isn't connected and they have to reconnect it, and it gets out of sync somehow. It's very odd. And then I've tried the warps. I forget the name of the open source version as well, and it just doesn't fit the bill for me. It seems like the CLI IDE is where I want to be.
And yet I see it and think, God, the CLI IDE is just like, why would
Terrible.
I want to waste my time on that garbage? That said, I find it super annoying that all of these tools have a hard time if your shell is fish.
Right.
So I have to downgrade to Z shell or bash or something, some garbage like that.
All of these tools have issues with Z shell or Z shell, as I like to say, or ZSH.
Oh, okay. So I've always had to go down to Z shell.
Yeah, no, they write
and
the loops wrong, and then try to run them inline as if they're bash loops, and again, it figures it
Okay.
out the next time. But if you just
Yeah.
set your default shell to bash, it's way better.
Mhm.
Of course, on Mac, that's non-trivial, but it's certainly
Right.
possible.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I have noticed for command line tools, especially if it's like handling. I use the GH command line, the GitHub CLI tool quite a bit, and when it pipes out JSON and then tries to like handle the JSON and do some
Hmm.
fun stuff with it in ZSH as opposed to Bash, it'll often mess up and will like be
Mm.
missing a quote or something like that, or define the variables incorrectly.
Right.
And it's just a pain. So it's easier just to
W-
set it
With
to
Fish, it would,
something it knows.
it would run a command and then it's waiting for the output, and it just sits there and waits because it never sees the output is
It doesn't
done.
know it. It's the same
And so we're
problem as
like
that
sitting for
SH.
20 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
ah,
Yeah. And then I can
okay.
take over the terminal and press Control C, and it'll continue on.
Right.
Or I could change the default shell to GNU Bash. Is that what we're saying these days? Is this what Apple's problem with it was? I feel like
Wow.
that's the issue. But I have been enjoying GPT 5 codecs. I gotta say,
Okay.
it seems comparable to Sonnet
Yeah.
4, which is saying a
Yeah.
lot. Right? Like that's a massive deal.
Yeah.
It just seems to hallucinate less for me.
Yeah.
It's probably fast now. It's not going to be fast forever. I think we've all fallen for this bait and switch where things are super fast and amazing
Right.
the days at launch, and then afterwards they seem to get nerfed or what have you. But
Right.
currently, it's working pretty well.
Yeah. I've been generally, I mean, it was horrible on day one, GPT-5, but it's pretty good for most
Yeah, I
things
think
that
a
I
lot
do.
of people are moving to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you using Windsurf with 5 Medium, the one that's at like 1x?
Yeah, I think actually the lower one.
Really? I should try.
it's
I've yet
great.
to try it.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, the lower one's a lot faster, I've heard. Okay,
Yeah.
I should try it.
And cheaper.
Right. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
0.5 credits, I
Yeah.
think, in Windsurf at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
there was
going through my
actually
credits, of course.
thinking of N8N, there was a video that somebody else had done of like 35 things I've learned about using N8N, that
Okay.
are really useful. And one of the first points he talks about is, everybody wants to use some sort of AI model in their workflows, and they all default to using, the biggest, the most powerful, the most exciting model, when often there's probably a lower end model that's going to be a whole lot cheaper, faster,
Yeah.
and just
Right.
as good for whatever it is you're doing. It's probably good experimenting with it and making sure that it works, because you're going to save a whole lot of money in the long term.
That's a
And yeah,
really
I
good
mean,
point.
like
Yeah.
it's really good. If you're, I mean, it doesn't really need to think about simple things.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would normally reach for like a Phi or Phi 4 for a lot of that stuff, or
Phi
was it
5.1?
Llama 3.2? Yeah, exactly. I think Microsoft purchased them, PHI.
I don't know
Or
if
it's
it was
a
a
model out of
purchase
Microsoft.
but
Oh, sorry, they bought.
Microsoft is definitely involved. Oh,
Yeah, my apologies. They bought Pi and then released Phi in the same week, and I still get those
okay.
confused as a result. But Pi is an iOS app, and Phi or Phi
Oh,
is
okay.
the model. My apologies. But yeah, I agreed. It's often handy to have like a small model doing some
Right.
tasks, and then either like a bigger or more
Yeah.
heavyweight model. I think Aider introduced that to me in the early days, just like summaries and things like that.
Right.
Maybe don't reach for your Opus
Right.
model or
Yeah.
Opus type model, thinking model, and
Yeah.
it does make the whole experience a lot more responsive for things like you're just grepping files or doing a sed
Yeah.
command. Like this isn't that difficult. You don't need to reach for Opus 4.
Right. It's like sometimes, so just like in choosing an AWS EC2 size,
Right.
sometimes
Right.
the really big size is cheaper because you can put more stuff on it. But sometimes you want to go, I mean, whatever is, there's no one right size for everything.
Right. Yeah, and I used to be the guy, possibly the like the House of No architect, who would tell you to use the smallest one
Right.
available, and then figure out how you would add like a second or a third and what that would look like. And I'm sure my engineers hated me, but at the end
No,
of the
I mean,
day, like
nanos, I mean,
I
what are they, nano sizes or whatever? Yeah, I
yeah,
have like
nanos,
a dozen of
the
them.
ones that burst.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ones that turbo or burst, so they were terrible.
And so
after
many,
a lot
I
of what we were
think, I
doing.
feel like for at least for a long, I don't know if it's still the case, but a lot of new Datadog customers would be on 1,000 nanos, and each one of those nanos is another agent or whatever cost. And so if you
Yep.
put 30 of them onto one big machine, well, you've just saved a whole bunch of money. And not only AWS costs it, but Datadog or whoever your monitoring solution is.
Yeah, to be clear, Matt is recommending the monolith architecture.
No. I mean, even
He wants
even
you to put
as
everything in one box.
as different Docker containers or whatever it
For
is,
sure. For
yeah.
sure. Yeah, it could be a Kubernetes cluster as well, right?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, sometimes two processes go well together on the same box. I don't know.
Oftentimes,
Yeah,
two processes work really
yeah,
well to each other. Yeah, talking to
yeah.
each other
Especially
over
if they're
RPC.
communicating with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
RPC calls are very
yeah,
cheap when you're on the same host. You don't have to go through like 3 overlay networks. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
I was joking because I actually grew up around monolith architecture and I'm very comfortable with it myself. And it's it's pretty cheap. It's pretty fast. It's
Yep,
maybe difficult to upgrade and update
yep.
and keep the OS up to date, but yes, other issues.
Mhm.
Other than that, I've been playing with GLM 4.5 Air from OpenRudder because it was free.
Okay.
Have you played with that one
No.
at all? Again, maybe not too much to write home about. It feels equivalent to like a 3.5
Right.
or a 3.7 Sonnet. It's free, which is great. I'd not
Right.
heard of ZAI before. Had you? It's like
The
a Chinese
editor.
research firm. No, not the editor. This is how I think I got confused. Right? Yeah, there's too many Z's,
Okay.
too many Z's.
Zed, Zen, whatever. Yeah. No.
Yeah, Z, Zen, Z.ai.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of their name. Sorry, it's not coming off the top of my head here. I'll try to find it, but it is
Zed.
from
Well, ZAI brings up Zed.dev.
different one. Yeah, it's Z.ai. It's
It is
GPU AI.
Zed.ai. Okay.
Yeah, yes. I'm pretty sure you pronounce this GPU AI is the name of the company. ZHIPU.
And that takes me to a Git repo for music organization and streaming.
Interesting.
If I typed in Zed.ai or Zed.
Oh,
Or
okay,
is it
gotcha.
Z? Are you saying the letter Z?
The letter Z. It's just the letter. The company
Okay.
itself is bigmodel.cn is who actually runs it. That's the company
Oh, okay.
behind it. Yeah. But they released GLM 4.5, which is surprisingly good. Again, not that it's amazing. It's not
Right.
what we say soda, but it's free. And I'm not saying give it all your secrets, but
Right.
if you're testing models and you want to go through evals or something similar,
Right.
it's good to have a free model in the mix,
Yeah.
as well as a small model, as you were saying. It's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. That's a good
Well, I've
alternative
also
to some
really
other
been
ones.
loving Olama Turbo.
Yeah, tell me more about. Is it
So,
200 billion parameters that you're using, or is it
well, it depends
140?
on what.
Okay,
Let's see. What's if I look at
120. Yeah.
Olama, there's the DeepSeek 3.1 671 billion parameter.
Right.
So, which is, I mean, it's the full not quantized, and it's the full context size. There's also GPT-OSS 20 billion and 120 billion. And then there's also, as of like, I don't know, yesterday, Qwen 3 coder 480 billion parameter.
Oh wow, really? That was free. I missed out on it. Apparently, it's quite good.
Yeah. And it's all in the $20 a month or so.
Wow. Here we
Liquid
are. The
AI.
marketplace, they're heating up. Liquid AI. Oh, I've not heard of them either.
Build efficient general purpose AI at every scale. Interesting.
Are you looking at these Olama characters on the turbo page?
No.
How are these not t-shirts yet?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I want that little llama in a cape on a t-shirt for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all Michael Chang's one of the two founders, his wife does all the
That is
Olamas.
really cool.
Yeah.
These are awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I happen to be on Redbubble, our favorite, let's say, t-shirt piracy site,
Uh-huh.
and was looking for like ChatGPT, Llama,
Mhm.
etc. There's a few Llama ones, but there was actually, as far as I can tell, an unlicensed Olama
Yeah.
design on Redbubble. Please do not buy it. Wait for the official Olama t-shirt. But yes, I thought it was pretty funny. So people are
Yeah.
definitely out there making fake
Oh
designs.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's DeepSeek 3.1 671B. Holy moly.
Yeah.
This is that's ridiculous. And what are your thoughts? Is it Is it
I love
worthwhile?
it.
Is it worth the money?
I've switched over all
That's what I've heard.
my. Well, wait, what were you asking about?
Turbo. Yeah.
Turbo in general, yeah.
Yeah.
All of my N8N workflows that were using other larger models, I've just switched over to using Turbo.
Fair enough. Yeah, totally makes sense.
And the one of the annoying things about Turbo is that it says down. You scroll down to the bottom, it includes hourly and daily limits to avoid capacity issues. I think they have to put something in there so that somebody doesn't like totally abuse the system.
Right.
That said, when I've talked to one of the folks there, is that we haven't limited anyone. I think they limited one person, but it's. I mean,
Gotcha.
you have to do a lot, and I
Challenge
accidentally
accepted. I'm teasing. I wouldn't do
was
that.
using my Karakeep N8N thing. I accidentally added like 4,000 bookmarks all at once, and it sends all of them off to
Of
Olama to
course.
Turbo
Yeah.
to like generate a summary. And it's like, oh my god, stop! I was trying to stop it, and it ended up being too late to stop it, and it all went through, and I never saw any, limiting. It all went
Wow.
through really fast, and it was amazing.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so we've got IDEs,
Mhm.
we've got marketplaces, and we've got like I've been looking at light LLM and other ways of
Mhm.
orchestrating.
Right.
We've also got N8N, but that feels to be where we're at right now. Orchestration's now become the thing. If we're either picking smaller models or bigger models or evaluating which one's better for our tasks or having like a rotating list of ones in case one goes down. I think
Sure.
Anthropic had an outage last week, for example, and like everybody was complaining, how do I code now if
Right,
Anthropic's down, which is like kind of funny. But
Yeah.
the question I've got, is there anything out there that makes it, and please don't say Crew AI, that makes it easier to manage multiple of these marketplaces when you're working on one task? Because it feels like right now people are trying to build those like long running tasks or long running
Right.
agents. And it kind of feels like what Cairo's getting at, or Kiro is trying to hint at, is that like some of these tasks might take a minute. Like you're
Yeah.
going to divvy up this work to a month or what have you.
Right.
I saw a presentation yesterday where the guy, I want to say he made, the first thing he did was add emoji support to COBOL, which I thought was interesting. So you could add the plus and minus operators and such to COBOL, which is like cool, whatever. Then he made a programming language, and I think the total cost to make a programming language, full stop, was $15,000 US. But he said, actually, I made 3 compilers, one in C, one in Zig, and one in C++, I think, or one in Rust. Sorry, one in C, one in Rust, and one in Zig. So actually, if you just want to make like my first naive compiler, I made an entire language for $5,000. And I was thinking, like, this feels like an inflection point. I'm not saying everyone needs to build their own compiler and language, but that is one of the more complicated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. It's not that I can't think of any. Metaprogramming is probably up there, but in terms of hard problems, this feels like one of the hardest.
Yeah.
And we're solving it for $5,000, which is a fraction of someone's pay for a year, basically. Like that would take me, I don't know, 3, 4, probably 5 or 6 years to actually create a programming language, which he did in 3 months, is what he said. Which to me, I'll share the video in the links here, but to me, it sounds like that's an inflection point. We're at the point now where long programming tasks are becoming shorter, and I guess that says something to me. Like if experimentation is not free but like much easier than it was before, then it feels like we need to start, and I'm not pushing for evals or experimentation or anything like that, but when you're running these tasks, like if you've got 5 Cairo sessions trying to build your to-do app or what have you, the question is, what's managing those? And is it humans? Is it not? What does that look like? I don't have an answer. It's a genuine question. This is where I'm looking now. Is like, what's managing all of my quote unquote agents? What's out there making sure that these are good? I've been playing with PR bots. I'm not sure if you've, like, Dependabot's a classic example. I've invited Claude Code to a repo and watched that kind of work. It's not great. There is one from GitHub Copilot, which uses Sonnet as well as a code review bot, which is pretty good. Actually, I've had pretty good success with that. And then there's just like all the other also ran. I think Cursor has a bot that I didn't find very helpful. Also, I don't pay them, so perhaps that's why. But have you used any of those on the back end to help? Because it feels like orchestration or managing or herding these cats is basically where we're at now.
No,
Get no answer. Okay, well,
I
well,
got
let
no
me know.
answer.
It feels like that's what we're at. Like we've got yet another DevOps problem, right? So first is
Right.
convince everybody in the space to please use Docker because it's the rational default.
Yep.
Please stop shipping everything as npm or pip packages. That'd be great. I feel like we're there. So the LLM ops crowd has understood that yes, there are things that were invented before they got here that they could use. Now we're into this orchestration area, and I hear N8N a lot actually in terms of
Yeah.
these tasks because it's an easy to use workflow engine.
Hmm.
I've heard of others. I've heard of people running Ray. Have you come across Ray before, or MLflow?
No.
Not so much. Okay, so Ray I think is a distributed task engine that people will generally use for training, but can be used for other things.
Hmm.
Think like Airflow, Luigi, was it Cucumber before that? But like all of these distributed task running
Right.
systems, of one of which, funnily enough, yeah, N8N is in this group as well in terms of like easy to use, drag things together and create a workflow. But that's where I think we are now, and like my spidey sense is tingling because I'm just waiting for like the Windsors or the Cursors, or where are these companies that people are going to buy? Because OpenAI just bought Statsig, I think
Oh yeah.
3 weeks ago now at this
Yeah.
point in time. Remember, we were talking about evals
Right.
and experiments. So it does feel like there's something here on the back end. Like if we're throwing spaghetti at the metaphorical wall, who's checking to see that it's stuck to wall, basically. Anyway, don't have answers. Food for thought. Let me know. Uh, happy to hear a thumbs up in the chat or other examples of this. I am looking at Liquid. This does look like it would be part of the same list. I think that's it for news that I had. There was.
Well, what do you think about there was an Apple thing?
What does Apple do again? Sell phones, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, full disclosure, this is the first year I've ever purchased Apple stock.
Huh.
I thought the announcement was great. The market absolutely did not. And maybe I'm an idiot. I thought that was an opportunity. I bought 5 Apple stocks. I was like, I think you're wrong. I'll take this bet. I also was not impressed with the new phone, at least, which is probably the reason that the market behaves so or the stock responded so badly.
The thin phone. I thought that looks pretty awesome.
Agreed. So is my partner, and actually really thinks the strap's pretty cool, which I still think is laughable, but whatever. But the strap craze or whatever. I'm very interested in the live translation AirPods. I think I've talked about this since this became an idea for the Meta glasses, but I'm here for that Babelfish live translation. I feel like if this is the only output we get from this entire exercise, and it's all a meme and everything goes away just like Web3, translation I think is phenomenal. Let's keep that. The other thing was we ended up pre-ordering the new Apple Watch as well because it comes in a fancy ritzy color, and you
the phone in orange.
So ugly. Of all the colors,
I thought the orange looked good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I just bought.
See it in the water when you drop it in your kayak,
so,
right? Yeah, exactly. Because you got to be able to fish it out of the water, and the water's blue and orange contrasts with blue, so it's perfect. Yeah. I get the safety orange. There are a lot of people who use Apple Watch, Apple phone, iPhone, sorry, in safety scenarios, for rescue and what have you. And it does have cell calling, right? So like it kind of tracks. Like I can understand that it might be an Outback phone is basically what I was thinking. Still not impressed with the phone. I think Tyler Stallman said it best in that the big change for the phone is the 5x zoom. Or not, it's not even a zoom lens. The 5x telephoto lens has now become 4x because 5 was a lot. Like it was always too much, and then when it wasn't, it would never be enough anyway. You need like 1,000 millimeter or whatever. You take a photo of the moon. It's not going to do that. I'm excited about the 4x. I'm not really excited about much else. I wish I was. I'm sorry.
With the camera, often when we from our bedroom window when we look out. Not often, but fairly often, there we'll see the big aircraft carrier go by, or one of the nuclear subs that go by, and we try to take a photo of it on the phone and go up to the maximum zoom, and it's still like this big. I mean, I can see it. It's huge. It's enormous, and yet it's like this splotchy, pixely little dot.
It's weird how our eyes work, right? Because you're
Yeah,
focused
yeah,
on something, so your
yeah,
mental image of it is massive,
yeah.
even though it could be.
It's right. Yeah.
The other thing is open gate recording, which I guess is a
Mm-hmm.
big deal to the people who are doing anamorphic or what
Right.
have you. But again, not something I need. I don't
Right.
do a lot of social media content that needs to be horizontal and
Mm-hmm.
vertical. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
my thing. The other is being able to record ProRes RAW, which I thought was silly and definitely needs to go to an external SSD,
Right.
but is
I thought we
actually
had that.
extremely ProRes, but not ProRes RAW. I
Oh,
think
okay.
was the difference.
Okay.
So I think it's a codex difference. It's like 422 as opposed to 444.
Okay.
But these are like massive files. Like
Yeah.
I want to say a terabyte every 15 seconds, but
Yeah. It's
something
huge.
like that.
Okay.
Like it's
Yeah.
stupid big. So maybe for your slow mo footage,
Yeah. Yeah.
I really don't know. The sorry, I'm jumping all over the place here. The other thing about the cameras was because the range is different, and I think the 4X can do macro now. It won't do that annoying swap that does. Have you ever tried
Mm.
to take a photo of the
Oh
plane
yeah.
window and it's
Yeah.
like swapping back and forth between
Yes.
macro
Yes.
and
Yeah.
telephoto?
Yeah.
And it's like, please, we're
Yeah.
taking off. I just want to take this photo. It's a cool sunset, and I end up taking a photo of the window every
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
that's fixed as a result of
Okay.
the way that the lenses work now.
Right.
But yeah, I'm super hype on the headphones. Probably gonna grab the Ultra 3 by the end of the year just because I
Yeah.
like them. As like a watch, let's be honest, like a
Yeah.
fashion accessory, I don't necessarily need it. And gonna pass on the phone, at least
Yeah.
for now. Was there anything in there that caught your eye?
That was pretty much it. I updated the OS on my phone and iPad, and Mac OS is out now today or yesterday.
Oh
So
wow.
updated that as well. And generally everything's good. All good.
Did you go to the beta with the liquid stuff or no? A friend of mine upgraded to the beta, but
No, I mean the full
just stable
Mac
release.
OS. Yeah, the final release.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have yet. I
Yeah.
will go. Now you also saw that I think it's Xcode added Anthropic models to it.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Okay, I don't know if that was part of the announcement or if it happened separately, but
Yeah.
there was an update to Xcode. I think it's 26 that just came out now, has that.
That's good.
And is it though? I was like,
I mean, I
kind of
think
feel like this
there were
IDE should
always these
die, but
like workarounds to using
true.
Xcode, using Cursor or Windsurf if your
True.
work if Xcode is your platform. But it was felt kind of kludgy, and it didn't have access to some of the features that you would use if if an Xcode developer. So
Yeah.
I think it's great. What
I,
would be the downside? What's the
I mean,
why?
that IDE is
Oh, I mean, I
slow,
think it's
terrible to
still.
use, not fun.
Yeah. I mean, and so
But it
anything
is a
that
de
makes it
facto.
better is good.
Agreed. And there
And
is
there
an
are
advantage to
some things that you need to build that Xcode's your only option.
exactly. So I was thinking like tvOS, watchOS,
Yeah.
so those things where you have that little simulator in there. I think
Right.
it'd be awesome to have multimodal control of this simulator. I'm not sure
Right.
if we're there yet, but that's where my brain was going.
Yeah.
Having it as part of like code completion and stuff, definitely
Yeah.
handy. But
Because
yeah,
there used
agreed.
to be another IDE for building.
Oh
Like
shoot.
I can't remember what it's called though, from another
Uh,
company.
yeah, I was thinking JetBrains, but it's definitely not.
No,
Oh,
I keep thinking
I
Code
know, right?
Warrior, but I don't think that's right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
Code Warrior was the Cocoa alternative for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
For sure, for the longest time. Yeah, if you want to build Cocoa apps, it was
Right.
either it used the Xcode or
Yeah.
Code Warrior. Shoot,
But
sorry,
one
you've
thing,
nerds at me. I can't think of it.
one thing that I saw on the Mac OS features
Hmm.
is if you're getting a phone call, it will pop up a little message on your Mac screen if you're on the same, like next to each other. And I
That's
don't
pretty
think
cool.
that was there before, but that was one of those killer features I loved about that I had in Windows. I
Mhm.
remember often uh, sitting in the Starbucks in Olympia, Washington, because I was state and local government sales engineer, and so I'd
Mhm.
be sitting there, and my phone would ring in my office in Redmond, and I'd see the little pop up on my Windows machine saying, "There's a phone call. Would you like to transfer it to your cell phone?" And I could just click the button and it just worked. But in order to get that to work, they had to like install special software on all the phone
Yes.
switches, and it was
Yes.
like crazy. Now this isn't hooking up with a landline, this is hooking up with the cell phone, but we don't even have a landline anymore. So
I'm just trying to
yeah.
think, was this OCS 2005?
It
Like,
was
is
something
that what you're
internal. It
referring
was
to?
something internal at Microsoft. I don't know if
Oh, okay,
anybody
because
else had it.
yeah, they did have Office Communication Server, and I think it
Mhm.
only worked with Cisco phones. And I
It
tried
could,
to get
yeah,
this working
yeah,
because you would have to transfer from your Cisco phone to your BlackBerry just to let you know how long
right,
ago this
yeah.
was.
And I think
Or your
actually no,
Moto
I was on
Q. I think,
a Windows phone. I was
yeah,
at a
Moto
little
Q.
audio box phone,
Oh,
which was
Audio Box. Oh,
yeah,
okay. I had a Moto Q, but yeah, your
okay, yeah.
Motorola Q was the Win CE phone of the
Or
time. Yeah.
iPac was the other common one.
Compact. Yeah,
Yeah,
holy moly. A blast from the past.
yeah.
But yeah, that what's that called? Presence, basically. Having that
Hmm.
presence everywhere is something
Yep,
Apple's been trying to fix for a while.
yep,
I think you could do the phone thing before, but maybe it's changed a little bit.
yeah,
Because I do recall seeing the thing come
yeah,
up, and I could
yeah.
like sometimes it's on my watch, sometimes on my computer, sometimes on my
And
phone. Seems to depend on the
but
last one that I
it's
touched.
the like as they're saying their message in the on your voicemail, seeing those words show up
Oh,
on the
that I've never
screen.
seen.
Yeah, and
Oh,
apparently
that's
that's
pretty cool.
I haven't gotten any phone calls, so because nobody calls me, but
Yeah. Same.
yeah,
No one ever, unless it's like the doctor reminding me to come
yeah,
in for a visit
yeah,
or something. I guess that's the age I've gotten to, but no one
yeah,
ever calls me. I mean, they'll text me for sure, but like no
right,
phone calls
right,
or anything. Yeah, I'm seeing that here. See live activities from your
yeah,
iPhone on your Mac. It's a new continuity feature.
yeah,
Cool. And there's a new phone app. Interesting.
yeah.
Huh. All right. Okay.
Something else I saw recently, unrelated to that, was
Mhm.
a video saying somebody talking about an alternative to Git that works with Git, jujitsu.
Jujitsu.
Yeah,
I've mentioned this on the
jujitsu.
podcast.
Did you?
Yeah. 4 or 5 episodes ago. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I finally clued in.
Also have not tried it. So
Okay,
because
I thought
the LLMs I'm working with can barely handle
yeah,
Git,
yeah,
let alone because the merge conflicts and
yeah,
stuff are already out the wazoo. But yeah, Jiu-Jitsu does look like, at least in terms of ergonomics for a user, like a
yeah,
human,
yeah,
way better,
yeah.
and it's
So,
compatible. I think it creates a subfolder, right, like a .jujitsu folder in your GitHub repo that you can ignore or
yeah,
what have
something
you.
like that.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
look cool. That's all I got.
Other than that, I've been trying not to spend money, so I don't have like
Oh
a
yeah.
lot
Oh,
around me that I can tell you about. But I can say I've been watching more Foundation, which I can
oh, okay.
recommend. I think last time I may have talked about some music and perhaps South
Mhm.
Park, but now we're on to Foundation
Right,
yet
right.
again. That is my
Was
recommendation.
about to start watching it last night and I didn't. Um, because I hated the second season,
It wasn't great. It felt like it
yeah.
jumped the shark. Yeah,
But third season so far good.
way better.
Okay,
Way better. The second
yeah,
season was like it felt like a tenuous plot threads.
yeah,
What they're trying to create, and then they
yeah,
never really linked anything
right,
together. And then the third season happened, and now it
yeah.
kind of makes sense. But yeah, like I won't spoil things too much for those who have read the book, but the arrival of the mule, for example, was anticlimactic, and I think it was supposed to be a climax. And it's just
Mm,
like, cool. I mean, it's the
yeah,
end of the season. Awesome, thanks.
yeah. The end of Kareem, whatever that I mentioned last time, was like, okay, this is the finale. What? It's just another episode. It feels
We're
like
done.
nothing
Yeah,
special.
exactly.
Um,
That's so weird. It feels
yeah,
like writing the end of a story is quite hard. I don't know if you've
yeah,
had this problem.
yeah, yeah. Um, I saw a video about somebody was talking about the best $19 they spent, and I watched this video for like taking notes and stuff.
Hmm.
I watched this video and I thought, okay, that's so cool, I gotta get one. And so I bought it off of this. I mean, and it wasn't even like a sponsored thing. He wasn't. I don't know if he was monetizing the links, but I just I found it on Amazon and I bought it and I got it and I think, yeah, this is really cool.
What is
So
it?
it is this.
What is that? This looks like something that is gonna make
So
IT people very angry. Like a black box with some batteries.
So, hold on. Let's get to the app on here, and oh, turn this thing on.
For those of you
And
listening, Matt is plugging two devices together wirelessly, as far as I can tell.
and then I'm gonna go to I'll go to this one. Oh, okay. Oh, nope. Okay. And then actually no. Let's go. Hold on.
So easy to use.
Let me choose a different picture. There we go. And crop in a bit. Oops. Crop in a
What
bit.
is going on?
Jesus, come on, crop line. It won't let me.
Live demos are always the best.
There we go. Crop. Move that down there. Okay. Check box. And now click there and press that button. So I've just selected a photo and then chose a few options and clicked on the main button and now so the picture I chose was can we
kind of see it. Somebody holding up two umbrellas.
It is my daughter sitting next to a whale, a sculpture of a whale. And so now I have a little printout of that thing, but it's on thermal paper,
right?
And it's and the back comes off, and so it's a sticker.
It's a sticker.
So now in a notebook, I can stick this little sticker and then write my little note. But the paper, I always thought thermal paper like goes bad in like a few months, but apparently this most thermal papers, as long as you're getting quality stuff that's not just for a receipt, it'll last for 10, 15 years.
Cool.
And so now I can just tape this, or not tape, but undo the backing and stick it in any notebook or whatever. So I thought this is so cool. And so yes, you can do photos, but maybe you want to grab text, a checklist, or the map to your hotel, or all the flight information, rather than writing it all out on that notepad. Because you want it in a physical thing that you don't have to rely on a phone in case the power goes out or you run out of power. So I was so excited by this. I think it's awesome.
Now, have you heard of the Game Boy printer?
Game Boy printer, no.
This looks very, very similar to even in size, it looks very similar to the Game Boy printer. And like we're talking about forever ago. The quality is definitely much, much better, but this looks very similar. Yeah. Even the size is the same as the Game Boy printer. Very, very interesting. I guess in some regions it was called the pocket printer.
Oh yeah.
But it was basically there was a Game Boy camera that you could put in the Game Boy, and you could take photos and print to the Game Boy printer.
So
the quality looks better, but
this is also available with a camera built in. And then it prints out the photos that you were talking about this kind of thing pretty recently.
Physical media. People are here for physical media.
And this is actually a really good quality picture. It's let's see.
It looks good.
There we go.
Yeah, the tones are pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks better printed than it did in your phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really impressed with it.
That is
and
cool.
It comes, so for $20, you get 5 rolls of the thermal sticky paper and 5 rolls of non-sticky.
Oh, that's cool. What's it called again?
I don't know it's probably sold under many, many different brands. What did I get? I'm not plugged into Amazon.
Portable wireless inkless printer on Amazon. At least in Canada, it's $29. It's just called mini thermal printer. Does that sound about right? Comes with 3 free rolls of paper, 3 free rolls of sticker.
I got with 10 free rolls. Hold on, let's bring up delivered.
This one's purple, but it looks the same.
It was available in black and purple and
Blue.
so the one I got is from the famous, well-known company named
Yep.
Huijuchen. It's spelled Huijutchen,
Hui. Huitch.
but it's
All
mini
right.
photo printer.
Yeah, the one on Amazon is sold by Aurtec, Aurtec.
Sure.
But yeah, it seems like a lot
So
of people
you
resell
can get
these.
it in
Very
yellow
interesting.
and red and purple and the red
Ah,
one. Oh my god, the red one has Santa Claus. Can't
don't
quite
miss
get
out
that.
on that. Yeah,
It
I've got
has
to see
Santa
Santa.
Claus printed on it. So
This is amazing.
it's pretty cool. Blue, dark red, green, pink. Yes, and it's $20.
That's really cool. And it's got a cat on it, I think, or some sort of animal. Looks
It
like a cat
it
with
yeah,
no eyes. I'm
it's
pretty sure it's a cat
kind of has a cat like
with
thing
whiskers.
on the, but there's
Yeah,
no like face on it. It's
no eyes.
faceless.
Very odd. So I guess similar to last week, the question is, does your child like it? Because this does feel like a good kid's toy.
I showed it to her and she was kind of unimpressed.
I love these kid reacts to Matt's one. It's like, yeah, this really cool gold ornate music making thing. She's like, that's neat. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Okay, move on. Shiny.
That thing actually hit Linus Tech Tips, I think, the day after we talked about it. Funnily
really?
enough, they featured that product.
They probably saw on our video. They were one of the 10
that's
people.
this
Linus.
is what I was trying to tell you. Yeah, exactly.
Linus and 6 other people are on here.
Yeah, because they do Wednesdays. So let's see if they pick
Okay.
up some of the news from today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
If they talk about Cairo
thermal
or
printer.
OpenAI Codex, we totally know they got it from us.
Definitely us. It's definitely us. I like this. I think it's really cool. It
Yeah.
looks like a really cool gift for children, and it makes me think of my nieces and nephews for sure.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
having just given them Instax cameras, like Instax is so expensive compared to thermal paper.
The only downside is the app is okay, but you have to go through the app. You can't print directly from whatever. Even though it's a Bluetooth printer, it's not a printer that iOS knows anything about. You have to go through the app.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's pretty cool.
And then I think the other one has a camera in it. I'm not sure if this is as good, but that one's from Elpert. But it does have a camera in it as well. It's half the cost, but it makes me think that it's half the quality.
Yeah. So the hold on, let's see if I can find the no. And history.
I've been interested in these Cricut or Cricut machines. Have you seen those? Like vinyl cutters? Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're subscription based now, as opposed to like just buy it and
Right.
Not here for the subscription.
So the video I
found
saw,
an ad.
the video that I saw about this printer is actually it's pretty neat just to see like other use cases. It's by a guy named Mr. Chops. Mr. and then next word Chops, CHOPS.
Right.
And it's the most useful $19 thing I own. And it's got like little floor plan to some place, and all the things that you might. It's like I just wish I had a printout of that thing as you're traveling, or he showed making a print while he's sitting in a cornfield. It's like such a simple. I mean, it's a little bulky for like this one
for what it does
for one thing, but yeah,
this is cool.
Yeah,
I like this channel too.
Yeah, I saw there were a number of other things that looked interesting. He's got a lower view of the camera one too.
Yeah, the one about the camera is pretty cool. This $30 camera is truly special, I think is what it's called. Yeah, very neat. Okay, well, thank you very much. I found a new channel to watch as well. He says he makes a new video every week.
Yeah, I say that too.
Well, he definitely release more than I do, so kudos.
Yeah.
All right, shall we find the end stream button, or is there more stuff?
There's one more thing.
Oh, shoot. Tim Cook has arrived in the chat.
I got a box. I think I told you about this box I received last week.
Maybe just the box.
Huh? Did I just tell you there was
Yep.
a box? So there's
Yep.
this box arrived, and
Right.
I was like, "What? I didn't. What is this? I didn't order anything." And
You told me over text, but yeah, do
okay,
continue.
and so
Yeah.
I open up this box, and inside there's a microphone
Mhm.
and a mic stand. You know, like the kind of bendy, hang over, like this. I mean, this kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
of course, now I'm never gonna get that in the back right spot. Anyway, so am I? Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
quite
it sounds good.
out of
Yeah,
view.
you're good.
Oh, there it is.
It's making it worse.
Okay,
That's good.
okay. So I get this thing. I thought I didn't order this. What is
Right.
this? And so I open it, and
I've
there's
already got
nothing.
microphones.
There is nothing on the box that says courtesy of whoever. It's
Oh,
just a box from actually from Colorware.
okay.
The folks that take products and colorize them.
Yeah.
And it's like, what what is this? And I open up the mic stand box first for some reason. It's just a Rode stand. I mean, it's nothing special about that.
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So I open up the mic box and then I see what it is. Oh, that's amazing. And so here's the mic.
We can see it. It
Yeah.
says it's orange for those who can't see the video, and it says N8N on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
So
And
N8N
that's an
sent me this.
MV7.
This is
You
the
sure MV7?
MV7 Plus.
Nice. It's a
So
nice
all of a
microphone.
sudden, out of the blue, I get this nice microphone from N8N and mic stand. And a few maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, one of the guys at N8N said, what's your address? I want to send you something. And I think, okay, he's going to send me a T-shirt or a hat or a
Mhm.
pen or something, a brochure. I don't know what it's going to be, but I give him my address, and then I didn't hear anything for a few weeks, and then I
Right.
get this box. And
Right.
that's amazing. I mean, I am not
Now,
at the stage where I get
right.
stuff sent to me out of the blue.
That's what I was thinking the confusion was. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, conclusion was, right? Is like Matt's feeling good about this.
yeah,
I think there might be another story in here though. Is like this goodwill or this good feeling that you have was created by
yeah,
N8N. And
yeah.
I feel like this is something that I should be doing at work, or maybe you should be doing at work. But like, yeah, sending somebody a microphone is a pretty good speaker gift or like
Yeah.
a recognition gift. Do you know what I mean? Because like they're
It
gonna use it on stream. It's got a logo on it, et cetera,
it's
et cetera.
potentially a little dangerous though, because if
Okay.
somebody is doing this stuff all the time, you know, I've got a $1,400 mic right here. I've got
I see what you're saying.
upstairs
Yeah.
the two places that I'm going to
You probably
record
already
anything.
have mics.
I already
Yeah,
have a really nice Heil PR40 up there. Do I need another mic? No, but I'm going to use this one now
of
upstairs,
course.
and it
Yeah.
sounds really good in that echoey room. So I was really impressed.
Yeah, they're
But
good mics
so
for sure.
so
But that's a
anytime
good
it's
speaker guess.
expensive, it gets to
Yeah.
be uh,
True. Plus
hard.
people can't accept gifts over a certain amount. I think the
Sure.
MV7 is maybe close to that amount too. Yeah. Cars and yachts, I think. Echo Delta's right. That's what you should really be getting in the
Yeah.
mail.
Yeah, like so when I used to work
Yachts would come
at
in handy, there's water next to you.
right. I used to work at Microsoft, and there we had
Right.
I mean in Microsoft Education, it was a real problem. We could not give often teachers or school administrators or deans would be passing through, and we were not allowed to give them anything because if
Right.
we give them anything, even a pencil, they would have to declare it on their at their school, and so it was more problem than it was worth, and so we could never give
Recused
people.
from any decision
Yeah,
making process
yeah,
in case there's bias or something. Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah. And I agree though, but there's got to be something more than t-shirts. You said it was colorware?
Colorware, I think, is the company that makes this stuff, and you can go to their website
Cool.
and they have all sorts of things that colorized version of all sorts of things.
They make a Nintendo Switch 2 in pink.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
throwing that out. That just landed on it, having just searched for colorware. It's what came up.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. They make a lot of
So
stuff.
I
Oh,
I was so blown away by that. Yeah,
interesting.
so and um yeah, finding if there are people that do something great for you,
Yeah.
rewarding them out of the blue with something well thought
Well thought
that
out.
puts, yeah, well thought out. That's the phrase I'm
Yeah.
looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah.
Um
I also suffer from post-COVID brain where the words
yeah.
don't necessarily always come. As a public speaker, they
Yeah.
don't always come as fast as I'd like them to.
So that's you mentioned COVID. We
Hmm.
met up with some friends, well, friends of Tony's, my wife's, um, and the guy is just getting over long COVID, and
Oh,
so he
wow. Okay.
got COVID right at the beginning of all of that,
Hmm.
and he's still feeling the effects. He was a
Shoot.
runner. He's not been able to run ever since because he just can't
Shoot.
breathe, and it's all since COVID.
Wow. That's rough.
So I mean, so for
I,
some people, it was
oh, yeah.
devastating. Yeah.
My sister is going in for sinus surgery as well,
Mm,
which is it's just a complication from
right.
COVID, but her
Yeah.
sinuses get totally messed up. Had to
Wow.
do an MRI and then going for surgery after. It's just a mess. So- yes, that definitely counts. Free
Totally.
gifts.
Totally.
All right.
All
On
right.
that bombshell, shall we find the
I
the
think
end
so.
stream
I
button?
think so. All right. Here we
Thanks, Echo
go.
Delta, for keeping us company in the chat. Appreciate it.
And broadcast. Bye.